Hey there everybody and welcome back. I did promise you a video update for today, and we'll be covering the winter storm that's washing its ways across the southern United States right now. So we do have the storm that's starting out in Texas and Oklahoma right now with some sleet, freezing rain, snow, and yeah, pretty much everything here. So get my pen out here. Come on, marker. Alright, got it. So, I do have a couple friends in Oklahoma City area, and they have been telling me there's like 2-3 inches of snow on the ground in this area here in central Oklahoma. So, that is verifying quite nicely for them. And then I have heard some good tools of snow around here as well, along the Red River region of Texas. And then other than that, we do have a little bit of lingering late effect snow for the northeast. And then we got, well, this is quite unusual. I can't really recall seeing this kind of pattern where snow's going like south like this. And I spent a couple years in New Hampshire, so this is quite unusual pattern for them right there. But yeah, so our system is coming along the southern United States now, and the low pressure is probably right here right now, judging by the pattern of the precipitation. So there's like some kind of low pressure cyclone going on here, and it's gonna kind of go onto the Gulf of Mexico and then kind of cut down like this, something like that. Maybe a little bit farther north than that. Maybe a little bit more shadow like this. So this is what we call the overrunning pattern, where we got the cold air sources here in eastern United States. We had a cold air advisory yesterday, cold weather advisory. I don't know what the exact words are, but it's one of those new warning systems from National Weather Service. And I talk about, well, I don't think I talk about it, but it doesn't matter. So, moving on, we do have winter storm warnings. They're coming up across the country now. So, winter storm warning means the storm is impacting or is expected to impact over the next 24 hours. And then each little National Weather Service officer across the country at different levels, when they get to put out the warning. Like, for example, northern states, it probably takes more snow before they can put out winter storm warning, like 4 or 5 inches of snow in like 12 or 24 hours for the northern states. But in the south, I believe it only takes like 2 inches of snow or some freezing rain or sleet to get the warnings up. So we got warnings that are coming up from Oklahoma all the way to North Carolina and Virginia at this point. And they came online for North Carolina and South Carolina over the past couple of hours. And then here's the closer look for the Carolinas. So we got winter storm warnings as far south as Fayetteville and north of Columbia, South Carolina. So that's including the city of Asheville, Greenville, South Carolina, Charlotte, Greensboro, and Raleigh, and Atlanta, for those outside North Carolina. I don't really cover Georgia that much, but they do have warnings up as well. And then there's some winter weather advisory for a little bit of freezing rain and sleet. Probably very, very short term. Freezing rain, sleet, and flurries for a little bit farther south. But as I'll show you in my forecast, I wouldn't expect too much for these guys down here. So we're going to talk about the computer model one more time here. So this is the European computer model, and it came from, I guess, last night. So let me refresh this real quick to make sure we got the current one. I guess it's still showing last night one. All right, we'll wait it for now. So we do have that Oklahoma, Texas storm coming along here that I was talking about. And actually, the low pressure is actually farther south. So, there was a low pressure here. But it's kind of shifting, I guess. It's kind of shifting to the south with the with the where the images are going, I guess, is what you want to call it. And then we got the low pressure kind of ramping up, as I have been showing you over the last few days. And then the low pressure's kind of skipping along the Gulf of Mexico coastline. And then we got like what we call the overrunning event, where you got all the cold air here in a place, and the low pressure came right into it. And it's gonna stir out as snow for a lot of us, like Atlanta, Greenville, South Carolina, Western North Carolina. It's gonna stir out as snow for a lot of us, as the warm air is kind of working its ways up. So you got the warmer air, especially mid levels, kind of working their way up like this. With the low pressure coming in, we got the warm front here. But it's also going to enhance that little band of snow here as going along. So you might get some really good snow rates, especially along Interstate 85 between Atlanta and Charlotte. So that's going to be fun for those people. And then I think there'll be changeover eventually, and then we got the system coming along, and then like 6 hours later, something like that, we got the warm front that are coming right here, with all the warmer air kind of aloft, kind of pushing them a little bit. And that's when you start getting some kind of freezing rain and sleet to form here along the front genus, along the warm front. So because there's a boundary along the warm front, there's gonna be a little bit more impressive rates of precipitation going on here along the 85. So we got some snow still for those northwest 85, and they're probably gonna stay all snow for the event. By this point, we're probably talking about a couple inches of snow for those areas here. Probably a couple inches, 3 or 4 inches. And then Raleigh's gonna get a little bit of snow, and by this time, it's about 7 o'clock p.m. in the evening. So, and then so that's when you're in Central North Carolina, you should probably expect snow to start falling about 7 o'clock. And then for those, good grief, I didn't mean to do that. Alright, for those that are in like Charlotte area, I would expect snow to start about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So, and Raleigh's gonna get theirs by 7 o'clock. And then as we go through the storm, we still got that warm front here. And then you're gonna get some really, really nice precipitation staying up here, like from along the 85 and to north of it. You're gonna get some really good rates for Raleigh, Greensboro, down to Charlotte, and everybody northwestward. So that's gonna be really nice for about a couple hours for sure, before all the warm air starts drifting up, falling up north, for people start changing over to like sleet or freezing rain or, messy stuff. So the storm's gonna be pretty messy. And then you can see it's really pushing northward with the missing area. And then the storm's gonna leave. It's kind of bombing out a little bit, but the storm's gonna leave. And it's gonna leave behind another rush of cold air for a little bit. And then, yeah, that's the event. And then I'll do another one coming up. No, we don't. Not in this run anyway. Alright, we're gonna move on here. So that was the Euro. That was the I believe the 0Z Euro from last night. But this is the new Euro from like last hour. So this is a little bit different than what I was showing you, but not by much. There's not a lot of change with the models right now, so, but we still got that line along the Interstate 85 with people to the northwest of it getting some snow, 2 to 4 inches of snow. So I would say 2 to 4 inches kind of widespread on the Euro. And then you got a little bit more snow, up to 6 inches widespread in the mountains. And that's not putting the elevation into the factor. So 6 inches for that far southwest North Carolina, with up to 12 inches for the mountain peaks in that area. And then you got the city of Asheville, which is probably 2 to 4 inches because they're in like that dry valley here. And then we got like Greensboro area up 2 to 4 inches. And then we got like that little area to north of Raleigh. They're probably gonna get some nice tools from when the warm front is pushing northward. They're gonna get some really nice rates. It's probably like 2 to 4 inches north of Raleigh, and then along the interstate in Charlotte and Raleigh, it's probably closer to 1 to 2 inches. But with that said, this was a pretty impressive run of the Euro. And then it seemed like as we get closer to the event, places like Raleigh and Charlotte and Greensboro are getting more and more of a precipitation stain as snow, with the cold air being better and better modeled and ensuring that the cold air is actually a little bit deeper and colder than expected from earlier runs. So the last run of Euro is saying 3.3 inches of snow for Raleigh, snowfall. Some of that is going to melt. So actually probably about 1 to 2 inches of snow on the surface at the airport in Raleigh. You're taking this at the face value. So yeah. And then we got the new, so we're getting kind of to the point where we got the shorter terms computer models to kick in now. And one of them's the HRRR, which is very useful for inside 48 hours. It had higher resolution. It takes in the elevation into the factor. So it got a lot little finer details, but it takes a lot of power. So that's why it's only out to 48 hours. So the HRRR is showing really, really good events for Western North Carolina. And as I was talking about, those mountains that we were talking about, 8 to 12 inches of snow for the mountains here around Asheville. And Asheville itself is looking like 3 to 5 inches. But I see a little bit dry hole that everybody knows about in Asheville. And it's like down to 1 to 2 inches. And then we got that little valley here with the dry hole as well. And then once again, we got a very sharp line along the Interstate 85. And you got Greensboro area getting 2 to 4 inches. Pretty standard. Charlotte's a little bit down, 1.6 inch. And then Raleigh, it's like 0.07 inch. So, that's why I'm feeling pretty sure those little area between along the 85, between Raleigh and Greenville, South Carolina, is going to get 1 to 2 inches. And I feel pretty confident about this area getting 2 to 4 inches, as I'm going to show you with my snow map. And then we do have that little strip of freezing rain and sleet along the Interstate 85 for Greenville, Charlotte, and Raleigh. And they're specking up to like maybe 0.2 inch of ice and sleet and stuff. My forecast currently is calling for 0.1 inch of sleet and ice and stuff, but I can see the argument for 0.2 in those areas. And then we got my forecast. Finally got to my forecast. I created this last night and had it ready for you all to see it today. Whenever I get a chance to create this video. So we got like I was talking about, we got that strip of 1 to 2 inches of snow and sleet bits along the Interstate 85 and Greenville, Charlotte, and Raleigh. I'm expecting 1 to 2 inches of snow and sleet bits. And then Greensboro I got for now 2 to 4 inches. I can probably bump it up to 3 to 5 or 4 to 6 inches for this area here at this point. But the GIS been fighting me a lot today, so I ain't bothered changing it. But I feel like this is a good conservative forecast for the foothills here. 2 to 4 inches, a little bit conservative at this point. But 2 to 4 inches for Asheville feel spot on right now. And the mountains, I try to include a little detail for the high peaks above 4,000 feet, and especially above 6,000 feet. So you got like the overrunning flow from the southwest and northeast, and it's going to go right into the mountain at 90 degrees angle. So that's going to that's gonna make for a nice local intense of a snowfall as the boys are pushing against the mountains. So there are gonna be some really nice tools, in my opinion, for the high peaks of the Bruce Mountains. And then for those further south, so it's pretty broad forecast, but the guidance is probably gonna be tighter than this in reality. So the gray area between Brawley and Interstate 95, is looking at trace to 1 inch of snow and sleet mixture. It's probably gonna be very caked with ice. And you're right between the dashed pink line, which you can probably see here. And I'm gonna draw it better for you. Like the pink lines that I'm showing here, and also up here. Those area in between here. I would expect some sleet and ice mixing in with the snow, so it's gonna make for crunchy, ugly messes of a road on Saturday. So I would not expect to go out on Saturday at all. It's gonna be messy. The roads are gonna be terrible, and there are stats out there that about 50 or 70% people dying in snowstorms or dying from car accident when there's only 1 inch of snow. So the snow amount of 0 to 2 inches of snow is a lot more dangerous than anything above 2 inches. So you got the snow and sleet and ice mixing in, so that's gonna make ice a lot more slippery on the roads. So very dangerous condition for driving this weekend along the 85 and going to Raleigh. So yeah. With that said, yeah, that's my forecast. And because I'm going on my vacation tomorrow, that was planned for a couple months. I'm going on vacation tomorrow to Savannah, Georgia, so I will not be able to adjust this forecast anymore. But something to watch for is the shifting. All this may shift in either direction at this point. So it may shift up like 50 miles. It may shift down like 50 miles in either direction. And I can see this area getting a little bit more snow than forecast right here. For sure. And I can see this area here getting a little bit more snow than forecast as well. Because all the warm front bannings happening. So I can see some weird good rates along the 85 at times. But you're kind of like playing with the fire because the better race you have, the more you're risking the warm air and messing with the sleet and ice and rain. So yeah, this is what I consider the moderate level of winter storm for North Carolina. I'll consider this a moderate level. It's not a high-end winter storm. The ceiling's very low for this one. Probably never gonna be higher than 5 inches outside the mountains. I can't really see 5 inches anywhere outside the mountains at this point. But I would say that the floor is pretty high too. So we'll see what happens. And I hope you're all enjoying that forecast. So I'm going to move on one last thing. So this is for Raleigh because I like this graphic. But like I was saying, Charlotte area and Greenville area probably should expect snow to start between 10 o'clock in the morning to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then Raleigh and Greensboro area probably should expect between 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock in the afternoon into the evening hours. So that sounds about right. Alright, well, that's all I have for y'all. And thank you for supporting me so much over the last couple days. We had gotten over 800 views this week, and we had gotten over 20 new subscribers on YouTube this week. So thank you very much for your support, and I really appreciate y'all. I'll catch y'all later and have a good one.